Paint a picture in your mind. A family of 6 in a beautiful evening in the summer, 2024 in Florida. Now put some faces to this family. Use my family. We had been to Florida many times, and we always talked about spending more time near the ocean. But when we visited this year, something was different. An idea was born. While waiting for a table at a dockside restaurant, we saw a family pull up on a sailboat, dock at the beach, eat, and leave. That got us thinking, what if we lived on a sailboat? That's when the research started. After a long day at the beach, my dad put on a movie. My siblings and I groaned, assuming it would be another documentary about rocks, tectonic plates, volcanic activity under or above the ocean, or something about space. But this time, it was about sailing. The movie was True Spirit, an Australian film from about 2 years ago about a girl named Jessica Watson who circumnavigated the world in 210 days at the young age of 16. Her trip was inspiring because she pursued something that many thought was impossible. Hi, I'm Darcy Derenthal, and my family is currently working on changing residency from the Woodlands, Texas to the ocean. Now, you may remember me from last year, the film actress. Well, since then, things have changed. It all happened in the summer of 2024, last year. Everything happened so fast. We listed our house mid-August, sold at the end of September, bought a smaller house, and moved in by October, and that's when we started looking for boats and taking sailing lessons. By December 16th, we closed on our very own catamaran, a Fontaine Peugeot Helia 44 located in Fort Lauderdale. My dad planned the trip to sail it back. The official crew, my dad, Grandpa, Captain Andres, and me. The trip was going to take about 5 to 9 days from its original slip in Fort Lauderdale to our slip in Kemah, Galveston Bay. My dad and I flew out to Florida on Monday, January 6th. That day we met up with our captain and stocked up on food, water, and supplies. My grandpa flew in that night and we slept on the boat. The next day, we left around noon and finally hit the ocean an hour later. We sailed for a day, and then the weather turned bad, and so we anchored in Key West for 2 nights. Then, on January 10th, the seasickness hit. I thought I was going to die. We were going against the waves, making it even worse. But 2 days later, something happened that made the misery worth it. Dolphins. So many dolphins. They were jumping alongside our boat, following us for at least 30 minutes. We stopped at Destin on January 14th to wait out more bad weather and for fuel, and we saw even more dolphins after leaving the next morning. But then we hit oil rig territory. Sounds fine, right? No, at least at night, some were lit up so much they looked like a city on water. But at least half are poorly lit or pitch black like giant rocks. If you hit one of these, your boat's gone, and so are you. At 1:30 a.m. on January 16th during my shift, everything went downhill. I wrote in my log that night, everything is miserable. It was worse than my first bout of seasickness because I couldn't just sleep it off, and the winds and waves were too much for our autopilot to handle, so my dad and Captain Andres had to go up to the main helm and steer manually. Our boat had spun in 3 full circles, which, as you can imagine, was not good. After fixing the autopilot, we realized something was loose in the steering mechanism. My dad and Andres worked on it in 6 to 8 foot waves using only the full moon and a flashlight for illumination. The next morning, I took my final shift from 5:30 to 8:30 a.m. The sunrise was beautiful, and the sea was calm. Once again, a miracle of nature made the hard worth it. What was supposed to be a 5 to 9 day trip took 12 days. I had just spent roughly 2 weeks of my life sailing 1,100 nautical miles at the speed of 6 knots an hour, which is not fast at all. The trip provided so many learning opportunities, things I never thought I would have to learn, like how to make ramen in 6-foot waves, how to chart a trip, how to sleep when there's the most overbearing, annoying noise of the anchor coming up next to your cabin. I also learned how to work that anchor, and the rules of boat traffic. It was hard, but I still learned it. It's nothing compared to Jessica Watson and her journey, but it was the closing deal for me. I decided that this is what I wanted to do for a very long time. Now, imagine this, a world where people aren't afraid to live life. And I know what you're thinking, but Darcy, I live life every day. I'm living it right now. That's not the life I'm talking about. Now, close your eyes. Think of your day-to-day life. Imagine what it looks like. Go ahead, close your eyes. Okay, you're most likely thinking about school, going to work, extracurricular activities, taking your kids to their activities, making dinner, getting ready for your day, or getting ready for bed. Is that life? I know it seems like a silly question, but raise your hand if you think that's life. Okay, now let me show you my definition of life. Now, if you look up in the Webster Dictionary, this is what you'll see. The condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter, blah, blah, blah. But look at the synonyms. Animation, aliveness, animatedness, living. Does this look like what I just described? Sure, life contains going to work and school and all those fun things. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you that work and school is bad. Please still go to work and school. This is what my life looks like right now. But I also sprinkle in a bit of this. I believe that life can mean something other than what you all just thought of. What if everyone sprinkles that into their lives? Oh, but Darcy, my paper's due next week. Darcy, Timmy has soccer practice every day. Darcy, Stranger Things Season 5 comes out soon. Darcy, I don't have time to travel. So, a lot of times when I tell people I'm sailing, it sort of goes like this. Yeah, I'm sailing for an entire year. Oh, that's so cool. I could never do that. That makes me want to grab them by the shoulders and say, yes, you can. I mean, you don't have to sell your house and move your entire family onto a boat, but I believe that everyone can unlock a life of adventure. You deserve to experience the things that you see in social media and movies. You go live that. You can live a life of adventure. When my family was looking at sailing, we stumbled upon Everyday Saturday, a YouTube family who showed us that what we were thinking of was actually possible. They sold their home in Idaho, bought a boat in Florida, and have been sailing the Caribbean for the last 3 years. As my family researched this new lifestyle, my dad told me that Everyday Saturday had a daughter who was my age when they first went sailing on their boat. Her name is Jaden Morris. Her social media accounts got me so excited for the next year. It got me saying, I can't wait another 6 months. I want to go now. She showed me how close-knit the sailing community is and how they are with meeting new people. She showed me how to have new adventures and inspire people in the process. We might not have even set off on this journey had it not been for the inspiration from people like Everyday Saturday, Jaden Morse, and so many other boat families who inspired us with their wonderful experiences. Now this begs the question, how can I be more like Jaden? Can I be as inspirational for others as she was for me? Well, for that to happen, I need to document my own experience, fully embrace that adventure, and share it online for the world to see. On my year trip, I hope that when people watch my videos and see my Instagram, they don't say, her life looks amazing, her family's so brave, I could never do that, but instead are inspired to live life to its fullest. Wake up a bit earlier and sit and appreciate the birds chirping in the morning. If you can, take a trip somewhere, whether that be a trip to Italy or just camping on the weekend. I know I can get it done because I want people to live these lives that don't seem repetitive or monotonous, but have a bit of sparkle. I want to inspire people, and I bet you're wondering, how am I going to inspire people when I'm on my boat? What kind of content will I post? Well, I hope to provide positive glimpses into the impact of adventure and new cultural experience on my life and the life of my family. I will talk about the islands I stop at, how boat life is, even how to deal with certain problems so that other people can reference my videos if they decide to do this as well. I'll post regularly on Instagram. I've already shown that I can post regularly, even with semi-reliable internet, while I was on the 2-week delivery voyage. There are some skills that I need to improve to make this year realize its full inspirational potential. I need a consistent posting schedule for my YouTube channel and Instagram account. I recognize that as I improve my regular content creation, I can reach and inspire so many more people than I am currently. Now, something I need from the audience? Followers. I have my own Instagram where I will be posting about my life, and my family also has an Instagram account solely focused on our boat journey. If you could drop a follow to both accounts, scan that QR code, and follow us, it would mean the world. Something that is very important to me as a content creator is having a connection to my followers. During the delivery trip, I got a couple questions replying to my stories or through my DMs, asking about my boat journey, and I always make sure to answer with a well thought out, timely response. I want to use my platform to inspire and connect with as many people as I can. And now from the board, I'm asking for exactly $832.97 for 1, premium access to better editing features for the video editing software CapCut, 2, a video editing course to learn how to use these better features to their fullest in that same editing software, and 3, an Olympus TG7 camera, which is an extremely reliable underwater camera. In return, I promise to document all my travels, finish my CapCut course by June 8th, post 25 YouTube videos total, which breaks down to 1 every other week, and post on Instagram at least 50 times by August 1st, 2026. But for Instagram, I'll start posting now, before we even set sail, so I can get in the habit of posting. If you follow, you get to see a new post about some updates with the boat. I promise to enjoy and absorb every second of it. And I promise to step out of my own comfort zone as I meet and talk with new people and embrace foreign experiences. And finally, I promise to love and care for my boat. Thank you so very much. Like and subscribe.